Hi everyone, I'm the Unobtrusive Healer and we are getting into a pick-a-pile reading today all about your next serious relationship. There's a lot to cover. We're going to do a you versus them for the general energy and situation or circumstances when you first meet. We're going to do a you versus them for first thoughts and impressions, and also a shared thought or impression that you both experienced. We're going to look at what connected the two of you together. We're going to look at the story of how it unfolds and progresses. We're going to look at what the relationship is like normally, at its best, at its worst, and what is the foundation underneath it all. And then we're going to finish off with telling you everything I can about them as a person, including physical traits like appearances, and personality traits like character traits, as well as zodiac signs and initials as well. So I think I just said as well about 20 times, but that's okay. Let's move into the pile selection. So group 1 has the crossed fingers. Group 2 has the 4-leaf clover. Oh, and I'm just actually noticing some really cool symbolism that I didn't notice in group 2's reading, because I've already filmed all of the piles. I always seem to do the intro at the end, and I'm actually noticing some really cool symbolism there that I wish I noticed before. But if you notice it, if you're in group 2 and you notice it, drop a comment, let me know. And then group 3, you have the horseshoe. So take some time to feel out where you're being called. And then when you have chosen your pile, I'll see you over in your reading. Hi group 1, welcome to your reading where we are looking at your next serious relationship. So we're starting off in a bit of like a you versus them type of layout, because we're going to start off with the general energy / situation for each of you respectively when you first meet. As well as what kind of brings you together. The next thing we're going to do is look at a you versus them of first thoughts or first impressions of each other, and then a mutual impression or a mutual or shared experience between you. The next thing we're going to look at is how does it progress. So hopefully we'll get an idea of how quickly it progresses, a rough sort of timeline or story, or what events kind of help the connection along. Then we're going to move into what is the relationship like normally, at its best and at its worst, as well as what keeps you together sort of underneath it all, which is like the foundation of it all, what keeps you together, and that'll be the back of the deck of that portion. And then I'm going to finish it off with everything that I can tell you about them. So we're going to look at zodiac signs, initials, the physical traits, and the personality traits. And we're going to see what we can get through in that regard as well. So this is probably going to be fairly long. So what I've done is shuffled most of the cards off camera to try to reduce all that waiting time while I'm shuffling, and to hopefully make it more of a, I guess, fulfilling reading, in the sense that all of the information can come through with ease, and then we'll do a little bit of shuffling towards the end when we do the zodiacs and stuff. So let's get into it, group 1. This is the little card or the symbol that you've chosen for your reading. And I'm actually just thinking, where am I going to leave that? Because this is going to take up a lot of space, this one. I wonder if it'll work. There. I'm going to put it there for now, and if I have to move it I will, because we've got a whole lot of cards. But we're going to start off by looking at the general situation of each of you respectively when you first meet. So basically like what's going on in your energy and your situation or circumstances, what's going on with them. So if I've got these right, we should be starting off with you. If you need a swip I was going to say switch, and I was going to say swap. If you need to switch or swap roles, please do so, but for the majority it should be that this is you, this is them. So when you first connect with this person, your energy is the vessel, and your circumstances or your situation is the Lord in reverse, which is like the Emperor card basically. Then we've got your person, or the person that you're going to be in a serious relationship with next. This is their energy, which is the Queen. Don't be alarmed if you're not here for a female, because that doesn't mean anything. We'll get into that soon. Their focus or situation is the Princess of Wands. And then what brings you together, we have the Eight of Cups. All right. Okay, so first thing I need to do is move these up, because I'm just remembering that I need to use literally every centimetre of space for this one. So we're going to start by talking about you over here on this side. That should work for the rest of the reading. All right, so yes, starting with you, your energy when you first meet this person, this is quite interesting actually. So what's kind of coming through with the Vessel here is that I feel like you have a lot of unmet potential at the time you connect. I feel like you are, it's a little bit, this feels to me almost like we can see this image here with, I'll bring it up actually, or I should be able to bring it up. It's not really nudity. This is very vulnerable. It's almost like this sort of cracked open feeling, and it's almost like with a vessel you think of something that holds space, or something that like holds things. And I'm also getting like this imagery of almost like a vacuum, and it's almost like when you first meet this person, it's like you're going through some things and you haven't sort of connected to your potential, which is all this light, and it seems like you've attracted a lot of darkness in your time, or you attract a lot of dark people, dark energies. Like it's almost as though you don't recognize your own worth, you don't recognize your own power, you don't recognize your true ability to sort of shield yourself and protect yourself from this darkness. And it's like you haven't seen the light yet, you haven't seen your true potential yet. And funnily enough, with the Lord in reverse, it's kind of making me think, potentially for some of you people here, you may have met this person when you were younger. So you may even already know them if you're not in a relationship with them yet, and this forms later on, because it's almost like when you first meet, you don't know your true self. I feel like you are not very aware of your true potential. I don't think you've seen yourself the way that, God, or the way that others see you at this point. And I'm getting with the Lord in reverse, like father issues. So you may be someone who has abandonment wounds or father wounds, wounds related to the masculine in the family, or masculines in the family. It feels like you've been around a lot of controlling or even dominant or, authoritative males, maybe even females too. And it's like you're very vulnerable, very sensitive, but you don't even realize how much power you truly have to, I guess, change your experience. So for a lot of people, I feel like you've emerged out of this. Like I feel like you're in a different place now, and you've met this person when you were younger. But if you're not resonating with that message, and this is kind of where you're at now, then this could be a sign that you're meeting your person soon, or maybe you're going to go through like another layer of awakening at some point, where you're kind of like needing to reconnect to your light. But I am going to translate this message as if it's the first collective, like you've already been through this and you're probably a different person now. And I feel like you met this person at a time when you didn't see your true light, you didn't see your true value, you didn't see your true potential as a result of a lot of over-dominating, overbearing, masculine people in your life, and being raised around a lot of just unpleasant energies that really disconnected you from that light and disconnected you from your own worth and value. As I said with the Lord in reverse, I feel like you may even be like sort of trapped in a cycle or a pattern at this point of dating these types of men as well. Almost recreating the scenarios from your upbringing and your earlier life in order to learn the lesson and evolve out of that, you know. So I definitely think the Lord is also a sign of, once again, not being in your true power, not realizing your true power, not really taking control or ownership for your life in order to create better for yourself. It's like you were still quite young, or you still hadn't gone through that full awakening yet, and you had a lot of growth and a lot of potential to realize. If we go over to this person now with the Queen as their energy, this feels like they definitely, it almost feels very contrasted to this card over here. This card feels like this is someone who was very attuned to their worth. They were probably raised in an environment that really encouraged and empowered them. And I feel like they almost had such a sense of worth that it was almost self-righteousness at sometimes. Like when things didn't go their way, maybe they were a little bit tyrannical or a little bit of a tantrum thrower, someone that was a bit hot-headed. I see all this red around here as like the gold is here, like the power, the confidence, the self-worth, and then like someone easily triggered when that's threatened or when that feels like it's being attacked. And then like I said, I heard that like when something didn't quite go their way, very easy to like lose their temper, very fiery, and maybe even a little bit dramatic. With the lotus flower on here, I feel like they still were growing too. They were still evolving too. It's not to say that they were like all mature and you weren't or anything like that. They still had some evolving to do. They were very, like in this deck, the king is like the ego, and then the queen is the expression of that ego. So this is someone who was very expressive. Like, you know, when they're triggered, you know, when they're angry. They weren't shy to, like, it would be written all over their face, or they'd be using certain language, they'd be saying something, you know, storming off, something along those lines. Very impulsive, very fiery, and really easily offended if their worth or their abilities or something were questioned or threatened. With the Princess of Wands here, again, that's that impulsive, fiery energy. Can be a little bit hot-headed and impulsive, but I feel like this was someone that was very outgoing, someone that was always active, keen to try new things, new experiences, very outgoing, very talkative. Again, still someone that has a long way to go, but someone very outgoing, charismatic, and someone with big ideas. The Princess of Wands makes me think of someone with big dreams, big ideas, and the courage to act upon them and really create something for themselves, really build something for themselves. So, you know, if that was them when they were younger, they could be in, like, you know, Queen or King of Wands energy now, where they've really established something. You know, just hypothetically speaking, if, you know, your message is resonating as someone that you may already know. But yeah, at the time you met them, someone with big plans, big goals, big ideas, big dreams, and the courage and confidence to chase those dreams as well. They weren't just all talk, they were definitely courageous enough to go after them. And then when we come into the middle, this is kind of what brings you together, or what connects the two of you in the first place. So the Eight of Cups, there's a few kind of things coming to me. It could be something that was very meaningful to both of you. So the Eight of Cups can be like searching for meaning. So it could have been something that really means a lot to you, something that you're emotionally invested in. So if you're really passionate or really emotionally invested in a certain sport, a certain hobby, a certain topic, a certain class, a certain place, and that's what brought you together, like a mutual, meaningful interest. I'm also seeing it could be something where you kind of like leave your emotions and feelings at the door as you enter that space, whatever that might mean. But with the cups suit, it's like something that your heart's in, something that's meaningful to you. It may be something that you have to travel for or travel around a bit for, like it's not always in the same place, or it's not always the same thing, or something along those lines, because the Eight of Cups is sort of like a journey. So that's all I can really bring through with that Eight of Cups, is like something that you both find meaning in, something that means a lot to the both of you, is what brings you together. Alright, so now we're going to do a quick you versus them in terms of first thoughts and impressions. So this is going to be the one that you both felt or noticed, or like an experience that you both shared. But we'll start with sort of your perspective and their perspective. So your cards for first thoughts and impressions, we have friendship, we have let go, and we have Hierophant. All right, so your first, so this could definitely resonate as someone that you have known for a while, because we have friendship here. It's like your first thoughts or your first impressions was like friend zone, or this is someone that I could be friends with, but you kind of, the idea of it being something more than that was very quickly let go. So this is interesting. I'm picking up a little, this could just be like a side story for someone, or it could be more for everybody, or just some of you, I don't know. But it's like maybe this person okay, hold on, I need to get all the cards out here. Yeah, that makes sense. So these are your person's cards for your person's first thoughts and impressions. We have light, helpful people, and the Ten of Air. Okay, so that story kind of fits. So potentially for some of you, or for all of you, take it as it resonates. I think like this is the mutual thing that you both notice. It's passion. A magnetic and seductive quality surrounds you at present. Enjoy it. So it's like there was a spark, or there was some sort of energy or attraction present that you both enjoyed and you both noticed. But on your side, it was like, no, this is a friendship, letting go of everything else. And it was like that idea was kind of very, very quickly let go. And with the word friendship here, I don't know if like, maybe this was like a friend's ex, or your friend had a thing with this person, and maybe it was like, no, not going to go there. And like your higher self was almost like shut off in regards to this person. That's very, very possible for some of you. Yeah, that's a possibility for some of you. But then if that's not resonating, it could have just been like there was kind of like a passion or an attraction present that you noticed, and maybe there was a little bit of flirting, but for whatever reason, it's like you friend zoned them and you kind of let go of the idea that it could be anything more or eventuate to anything more. Like the Hierophant would be like more traditional, and sometimes it can represent like a commitment, like a marriage or something very like a relationship commitment. It's like, I don't think I could ever date this person or be with this person. Like, I can't see myself marrying this person, but there's a flirty quality to this friendship that I am enjoying, but nothing more, like letting go of the idea of nothing more. So, and bear in mind, this is just first thoughts and impressions. So at first, it just may be like yeah, we flirt and it's kind of exciting, but I'm not interested in making this anything more than a friendship. And let's not forget, you were kind of in an energy of attracting less than ideal people, didn't really recognize your worth. So maybe potentially, this could have been like fear, and fear kind of took over your higher self, or it just wasn't really the right time. But I can tell that you had a lot of growth to do looking at this part from when you first met this person. Like, you wouldn't have seen yourself the way they did. And now we'll move into that actually. So your person with the light card here, they immediately feel drawn to your energy, drawn to your light. They see you as a very beautiful person, a very light energy that's very attractive. They feel very attracted to your light. But with this card, I feel like they notice that a lot of other people are attracted to it too. We can see here that we have this being in the middle, and there's this glow, and there's all these people around, like offering things and trying to give this person things. So I feel like they almost go into this with like, oh nah, there's no chance. Like, this is going to end before it's even started. They don't really feel like, they feel a bit hopeless or like not worthy either, or like, you have all these people around you, what would you do with me? So they just feel like another person that's drawn to your light or your energy or your gifts or something along those lines, but they wouldn't expect it to go any further. Or maybe they were one of the people that tried to kind of progress the situation or show some type of interest, but that friend zone was like a very quick ending. But I definitely think I also feel like there's this energy of them being grateful that they know the people they knew, or like being grateful for you entering their life or being brought into their life. But again, they feel like there's almost like this energy of they felt like you were out of their league a little bit. Because like I said, they knew that they weren't the only person that were attracted to you or interested or noticing you. It almost, do you know what I'm kind of getting the vibe of? Is like this person, and I'm not judging, because like I said, for a lot of you, this is when you were younger. You may have enjoyed that they were interested in you and enjoyed the flirting, but I think that you were afraid of commitment, and therefore for you it was more of just like enjoying the fun, the attention, the flirting, and kind of enjoying the admiration that they showed you. But again, like, you had a lot to let go of in your life, like with the things you've been through, before you could really embody your higher self. So I feel like you wouldn't have recognized this, but I also feel like they just didn't feel like they had a chance. So, both parties played their part in the fact that it didn't grow, but that could just be because it wasn't time. But I definitely feel like, this is someone that you saw as a friend, and you didn't really see too much more than that at the time. But yeah, definitely like a mutual attraction, mutual passion kind of thing, bit of flirting that you were both enjoying, but no real commitment, no real thoughts of it really going beyond fun and flirting, just enjoying it for what it was is kind of what's coming through there. Okay, so let me have a quick drink. Okay, so our next cards, this is going to hopefully tell me either like a bit of a story about how the relationship progresses, and we should get an idea of like the speed that it progresses and any significant events that may be involved in the story of the relationship. So excuse me, hopefully I've done this the right way. So we have 5 of Swords, we have the Devil, we have the Empress. I can't remember how many cards I got. I think it was 6. We have the 10 of Cups. Okay. We have the King of Pentacles. And we have the 6 of Wands. Alright. How are we looking? Oh, we're coming out of view a little bit. Alright, so yeah, I do think the 5 of Swords, I do think that you guys go through a period of like, I guess separation is the only word for it, not that you were ever really committed to each other, but I think that you definitely, it's like your paths take you in different directions for a while. I think there's a period where like you're probably not speaking, and I think that you're both going through a lot of releasing, a lot of change, because the 5 of Swords is just kind of like, normally it's about disagreements and, you know, harsh words and things like that, but I don't know, I just feel like it wasn't aligned at the time, and you were going in different directions. So you both had your own evolutions, I guess. The Devil is like, yeah, it's like a card of sort of, especially to go from the Devil to the Empress, this is kind of like glow up to me. So it's like, I think this is very, very much significant of your evolution and your grow up. I think that you'll glow up. I think that you had to release a lot. I think that there was like a lot of unhealthy attachments, cords, beliefs, ways of thinking that you had to completely cut, completely sever, for you to step into your Empress energy. And I think that that's what kind of brings you two together is, I think that this person grows up a lot too. Like I'm seeing them as the King of Pentacles and you as the Empress. So definitely grown from sort of Princess of Wands, a lot more grounded, a lot less impulsive. Like they've brought a lot more logic and rationality to their impulses and dreams, and they've really grounded themselves. They've probably achieved a lot of what they wanted to do back then, because they seem to be in a very good position in terms of like their career, their money, the more material side of life. They're doing very well, and I think that your glow up and their glow up puts you in this new energy where you're starting to view each other a lot differently. So I don't know where you're at in your story. It could be a little bit different for everyone, but after a period of like not talking or just not being on the same page, there's a lot of release work, a lot of change, a lot of evolution, a lot of growing up and glowing up. And then when you do reconnect, it's like you're kind of seeing each other's worth, seeing each other's value, and being like, I don't know, seeing it in a new light almost. So yeah, I think that you want different things now. I think that this Empress energy is more of like, you're not going to settle for these types anymore, these overbearing, controlling, narcissistic types. You may have even dated a fair few narcissists that you needed to cut off in the past. And now you're looking for totally different things because you've got a new sense of self-worth, or this is what's happened by the time that you guys reconnect. And again, it could be, you know, that shared love that first brought you together, that could be what kind of reconnects you again in the future, or like whenever you do reconnect, because once again we have the 10 of Cups and we have these two people looking out over something very, very happy and fulfilling. So that's giving me that meaningful thing could be what reconnects you again. And this time it's like way different. I feel like this 6 of Wands is almost like the two of you recognizing the connection immediately. I do think that this takes a lot of time. Like in these 6 cards, I'm looking to see, like, do we have a lot of air energy? Do we have a lot of earth? Do we have a lot of water? Do we have a lot of fire? And it's quite a mixture. So it's almost like, you know, you go through seasons and seasons and seasons without each other. You go through all the seasons of your own life and seasons of the earth as well. It's like, this feels like a long build up and a long time coming. One of those types of like, you know, I never saw them that way, but now I can't imagine life without them type things. So it's kind of sweet. This whole spread is quite sweet, actually. Like, now that I'm taking a moment to pause and, you know, really look at it and take it all in, it's very, very sweet. It's like, almost like the universe had a plan the whole time that you didn't know about, and then you get this beautiful, rewarding, happily ever after moment at some point. Oh, that's really cute. The feels. Oh, that's really cute. I could even have a little tear. It's morning time. I'm more sensitive in the morning. All right, let's move on before I start getting emotional. So the next few cards here are describing your relationship. So we're looking at, what order did I do this in? At its best, normally, or in general, at its worst, and then the foundation holding it all together underneath. I think that's the order I did it. So we have the King of Wands. So I did at its best, normally, at its worst, and then the foundation. Okay. That's right, because you guys got really, really good cards. So King of Wands, so at its best, there's a lot of passion, a lot of attraction, a lot of chemistry, but also, again, shared interests. I feel like shared interests are a huge thing for you guys. There's something that you both, or there could be more than one thing, but there is at least one thing that you guys both love to do, and it really keeps the energy alive between you two. But also, again, is like, I think that there's like a lot of excitement, a lot of, maybe even a lot of travel when you guys have the time and space to travel. But the King of Wands is like an amazing energy of, like, you know, passion, adventure, excitement, creativity, fun. It's an awesome energy for it to come out as when it's at its best, because it's just like, you know, you genuinely make each other feel alive and excited about life. Just at normal, like in general, you got the 10 of Cups, which is like so much harmony and so much love and fulfillment. So it's like, even when it's just coasting along, you know, everyday life, when it's, you're not in an up, you're not in a down, you're just sort of coasting along, there is so much love and connection between you. that it's like every day is just amazing. Like every day is bliss. So that's really, really beautiful as well. At its worst, we have the Four of Swords. So I definitely think that it's basically a sign of, even at its worst, you guys can recover from anything. But sometimes I feel like, okay, I just heard the two of you will never go to bed angry. So even at your worst, you won't go to sleep angry at each other. But what I was going to say before that kind of came through so strongly is that I do feel like there is a little bit of stubbornness coming through with this Four of Swords, and it's like the only reason that maybe you have little disagreements or little moments is like pride or being stubborn, and then it's very, very quickly resolved because someone can easily be like, look, I'm sorry, I was being a douche, or I was being an idiot. And, you know, kind of basically like laughing it off. Because underneath the deck we have the Two of Cups, which is like, what's the foundation that keeps you guys together underneath it all? And it's literally the love, the connection, the genuine friendship, the genuine respect for one another, the genuine appreciation for one another. And also with the number 2, it's giving like a quality, like very reciprocal, very equal relationship is what kind of keeps you guys together underneath it all. So amazing cards for that. This is almost like, this feels like you two, your next relationship is the one, or your next serious relationship, is the one. Like you'll be together forever. I don't think anything will tear you apart. You may have your moments, but like I said, you'll never go to bed angry at each other. And it all just comes from like maybe, you know, one of you are a little bit tired, or one of you didn't get the best sleep, so you're a bit moody, and it's very easily resolved. That's what's kind of coming through there. So that's really, really lovely. I'm going to have another drink. 35 minutes of talking so far. Oh, my tea's going cold. Okay, where are we at? Okay, so everything I can tell you about this person. All right, so we're going to go into the astrology cards first, and I'm going to get I'll get 3 cards out and a bottom deck, and at least one of them will be a sun or moon or rising placement of your person. We're going to set the intention to get the most common zodiac signs of the person that group 1 will be in a serious relationship with next. So the most common zodiac placements for the sun, moon and rising signs in this group. So the first card out is Jupiter. So that's Sagittarius energy, which is interesting because I was getting like Sag kind of fiery energy over here, and for me the King of Wands is Sagittarius. I know that I don't always read signs according to the actual tarot. I get different energies personally, and I read them a little bit differently. So if I'm ever saying something that doesn't align with how you know it, this is like my intuitive interpretation. So you can choose to either leave it or go with it, totally up to you. But yeah, so Sagittarius, sun, moon or rising is a common one. Leo, sun, moon or rising is a common one, and Aquarius, sun, moon or rising is a common one. So they're the 3 main ones. And then with the sun on the bottom, again, that is more Leo energy. So Leo, Sag, and then underneath that was also Sag. But they're the ones that we're going to leave out, just like that. I could also see this as like a Sag sun, a Leo sun, or an Aquarius sun is very common. But like I said, Sag, Leo or Aquarius in any of the sun, moon or rising placements are a possibility there. The next part is initials. We'll shake out some, oh no, we'll do the initials last actually. We'll do all the cards first. Okay, so with these cards, the first 2 are 2 core components of their personality. And then we have 4 physical traits. So 1 to 4 could resonate for your person, but I've set the intention that everybody will get at least 1 and up to 4. So the 2 key components of this person's personality, we have the High Priestess and Justice. So that's funny actually. So the reason that I thought I would get 2 cards for this part instead of just one main overall character trait is because I feel like we all generally have like 2 sides to us, maybe one that we show others and one that we kind of keep to ourselves more, our more pure self. And what's really funny about this one is that it gives me, I don't know if I've seen, there's like a meme or something that goes around and it's like my 2 personalities, oversharing or saying nothing at all. And that is literally what I'm seeing here. The Justice card is Libra. It's air. It loves a chat. It loves to socialize. It loves connecting with others, and like not even just in a romantic way, but just loves connection. It loves to chat, loves to pick people's brains. It loves to socialize. So there's like a very extroverted, sociable side to this person, and then there's this real introverted, withdrawn side to this person. So they're either really talkative or they're not talkative at all. Probably not much of an in-between. But then also I would say that this person, they've also mastered the art of saying a lot and not saying much. And what I mean by that is almost like talking enough and telling you enough for you to feel like you know them, but then there's still a bit of a mystery about them. So like I feel like maybe sometimes, like I said, like sometimes they're very talkative, other times they're not so talkative because they enjoy their alone time. So there's like definitely a very polar energy here. I wouldn't be surprised if they have like an air sun and an earth moon or something like that. Like they go into hermit mode sometimes because of that earth energy, but then like they're very chatty and outgoing at the same time with that contrasting energy. I think that this person honors the truth and values the truth. I think that they tell the truth, and I think that they expect to be told the truth in return. They appreciate honesty, integrity, and truthfulness. I think that they have a very strong connection to their higher self, whether they're a spiritual person or not. That's coming through with the High Priestess. It's like their inner voice is strong. They're very connected to their inner voice, and that probably is their ruling voice versus the voice of others. Like they know their truth and they'll always listen to that. Even though they do like to talk to others and pick their brains and get opinions, they will always come back to their inner truth. I'm noticing in both of these cards, they're both sitting on top of the world. So almost is giving me this energy that this person wants to, or maybe even has achieved a lot or will achieve a lot or accomplish a lot. They value or they strive for accomplishments. Maybe that's part of their kind of core personality as well. Someone quite driven, you know. But yeah, I think I'm going to move on. That's all I'm seeing, I believe. Alright, so these are the physical traits. So it could be 1, 2, 3, or 4 things that resonate with you or this person. Or it could just be like, you know, 1. So you've got to trust your intuition, or you just got to see what happens when they pop up. Or if you feel like you know this person, because I did pick up a lot of you are friends, or even if you're not friends right now, it's like you were friends and they're going to come back in or something, then this may validate that somehow. So you have the King of Swords in reverse. This is someone that has piercing eyes. The Page of Cups in reverse is someone who has a very nice style or a very nice sense of style. It's one of their best features. It's like they dress well, they look good. They look good. We have the Four of Pentacles in the reverse position. This is someone who... So first of all, what I'm going to say is, because these cards have come out one after the other, is that, so with their style being a key feature, this is someone who like knows how to work color into their style. So they bring a lot of color into their style, but it's like very, not like they do it in a really nice way. Like they don't mix and match colors that don't go. Like they have a good eye and they know which colors to wear with what clothes, or which colors to wear with which colors is what I meant to say, and like, you know, which colors complement their skin tone and all of that kind of stuff. Like they know what works for them and they work that. And then we have the Queen of Cups. So this is another one of their standout features, or their best qualities, is their mind and their intelligence. So something that you will be very attracted to is their mind or their intelligence. So take as many of those as you wish, or take what resonates and leave the rest. The final thing that we're going to do here is we're going to get some initials out just to see what are the common initials in this group. So look for first or last names. Just mixing them around a little. And hopefully everybody will get at least one initial. So what are the most common initials for Group 1's person that they will be in a serious relationship with next? Okay, so we've stopped getting any out, so I'm going to stop there. Of course, I can't guarantee everybody will get an initial, but I'm going to read them all out. So we've got T, we've got I, we've got N, we have M, we have a Q, and we have a G, and we have a K. And we have the little hashtag, so you guys could be connected on social media. They could follow you, you could follow them, or vice versa. Or they could have double letters in their name somewhere. So they could have like 2 T's or 2 N's, or a double N or a double T or something like that. I feel like I ended up channeling another meaning for this symbol at some point, but now I can't remember what it was. Maybe that's on purpose. But yeah, those are the most common initials in this group. So I think that is the end of our reading, Group 1. So thank you so much for watching. If you've made it through this far, well done. I am just going to remind you that if you did enjoy this, please don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're interested in more readings. But until next time, sending love, light, and everything bright. Bye. Hi Group 2, welcome to your reading, where we are diving into a super detailed reading all about your next serious relationship. Welcome. First of all, you chose the 4-leaf clover as your group representation, which we are going to kind of just wedge over here, because we need every millimeter of space that we can get in this one today. To save a little bit of time and to keep you actually interested in the reading, because I knew that I was getting out a lot of cards today, I wanted to minimize shuffling time, and thank goodness I did that, because Group 1 went for about 46 minutes without me shuffling all of these cards. So we would have been looking at like 90 minutes nearly, I reckon, if we included all the shuffling, because I had to go to so many different decks and everything. So, you know, hallelujah, we've got almost all of the cards out for this reading, and that means that we're going to get a good, fulfilling message with a lot of information. So we are going to be looking at a bit of a you versus them in terms of general energy and focus or circumstances when you do meet, as well as what brings you together in the middle. We're also going to do a you versus them for first thoughts and impressions. Then we're going to look at how does this relationship progress. Hopefully we'll get an idea of like the speed that it unfolds at, the storyline, or any specific events that might help it along. We're also going to go into what is the relationship like normally, when it's at its best, when it's at its worst, and what keeps you together underneath it all. And then we're going to do everything I can tell you about them. So zodiac placements, initials, physical traits, as well as personality traits. So heaps to cover. Let's get into your messages. I would recommend getting yourself a tea, coffee, beverage of some kind. We're going to be here for a little while, and that just might be nice for yourself. So let's start off with the you versus them for your general energy and situation/circumstance upon meeting. So if you don't sound like this side, it's possible that you may need to switch sides. Totally up to you though. This reading in particular, I thought it was quite interesting the way that it was all coming across. So I do feel like some of you may need to change the roles and some of you may be on the other side, but we're going to get into it and you can decide that for yourselves, but just keep that in mind. So over here on this side, energy upon first meeting, we have the father, and it very, very clearly came out in this reverse position. So I am going to honor that and keep it that way. This is situation or circumstances upon meeting. We have the King of Swords. Then for the other person, which is meant to be the other person, this is meant to be you, but like I said, I think I'm just going to say person A and person B for this one. So person B's energy is the healer. Circumstance or situation upon meeting, Two of Pentacles, reverse position. And then what kind of brings you together or connects you, we have the Queen of Cups. So, okay, so group 2, as you're probably aware, we have just sort of cut the video and now we have all of the cards here laid out. I forgot to read this card, I forgot to read this card, and down here the messages were getting very mixed and muddled, so I decided to just pause, take a few minutes to sort of clear my energy, ground myself, and take another look at the reading. And I think this is one of those ones where I should have laid out all the cards to help me understand the bigger picture, because the story kept sort of chopping and changing along the way until I got to the end. And then once I stopped and I looked at the big picture, I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. So to save you guys from almost being like this snake here and starting on one storyline and being like, oh, hang on, and then coming back here again and be like, wait, what? And then coming back here to get to the end, I've just decided to just sort of wipe the slate clean. And I'm going to start talking about the cards from beginning to end with what we've got on the table right now. And it's going to be so much easier for you guys to follow, and also with me being able to actually understand what I'm picking up on here. So let's start over here. So this is the you versus them general energy. Is this card. Focus or situation in your life is this card. What connects you, and then this is the other person. So person A over here, person B over here. Another reason I feel like the messages were getting mixed up is because this pile feels fluid. Like I feel like some of you are going to be this side and some of you are going to be this side, but regardless, let's go. So over here with the father in reverse as the energy of this person at the time the two of you connect. This can be representing either, you know, a masculine figure disappearing, abandoning the family. You can talk about an unstable masculine figure. And yeah, basically either that could be a sign that either this person's struggling with their own masculine energy. And then with the King of Swords as the main situation or circumstance, that is a very masculine energy as well. So it feels as though, whether this is you or the other person, this feels like someone who is very disconnected from their feminine energy. They've had to step into a very masculine role throughout their life, and they've had to kind of play that stereotypical masculine figure in their life. So either, you know, if this is you and you've got children, maybe you're having to be the masculine role for them as well as the feminine role, like trying to do both. Or even if you're not a parent, this could just be being scarred from a masculine and then becoming sort of like hyper independent as a bit of like a trauma response. But the King of Swords is definitely someone who wants to learn, wants to gain wisdom, is trying to rise above, but they are definitely someone who's a little bit out of touch with their emotions, even though eager to learn. Just very out of touch with their emotions, more cold and closed off, and just more of like a logical, rational thinker. And then over this side, we have quite a contrast, because this side is like someone who's in a very healing energy. They've probably awakened to a healing gift that they have, or they're just awakening to their own spirituality. They could be starting to share a gift with other people or something like that. But it gives me kind of like new energy. With the Two of Pentacles in reverse, this could be someone who's still learning how to either prioritize or respect boundaries. The Two of Pentacles in the upright position is more balanced, but in the reverse position, it's like very off balanced. You know, not knowing when to stop giving, not giving enough, having no boundaries, or having 10-meter walls around them, like no in between. And then with the Queen of Cups in the middle, the Queen of Cups can talk about, especially in this deck, it actually mentions like a therapist or counselor, or like a healer, like a helper. It mentions film and theatre, but like the Queen of Cups can be like a very healing energy. So this person could be seeking a healer or like some sort of healing practice, and they could like seek this person out to kind of work with, because the Queen of Cups could be like, you know, a mentor or a teacher or a practitioner or therapist of some kind, and that could be what brings you together. That could be how you meet, or then because of what it mentions in the guidebook of this deck, it could be someone that you meet at the movies, or, you know, a love of movies and theatre brings you together, or a creative or spiritual path brings you together. But yeah, I would definitely say that the person over here is more in touch with their feminine energy, whereas this person is way more in their masculine. And yeah, I think that this person wants to learn from this person. It's like, look at the way that he's sitting. He's there, he's got like a thirst for knowledge. The swords can represent like knowledge. And he's sitting there very like attuned to this other person, very engaged, like he's really taking on board everything that that person's saying. So I think that's, yeah, it's like this person's seeking out a teacher or healer or therapist or something like that, and that's what brings you together. Alright, so moving down to the next row, this is first thoughts and impressions. So this is like another you versus them. So we have person A and person B over here. So this person, first thoughts and impressions is like, there's an this almost seems a little bit, anyway, I'll say that again if I need to. There's this immediate sort of desire to learn more, to get more information out of this person. There's this immediate there's an immediate sort of attraction or connection, and it's like, I need to know more about this person. I need to get to the bottom of why I feel so drawn to this person. There's a very spiritual experience happening. I noticed that in both of these cards, we have like that little Merkaba, is it a Merkaba triangle? That's just what I heard in my head, so I'm just going with it. But we have that that same pattern, so it's like it's going on within both of you. So it feels like there's some sort of spiritual experience, and there's this like magnetism or this pull, and this person wants to know why that is, and they want to learn more and get more information. This person over here, they feel this gentleness coming from you, which is interesting that they pick up on that, because this person over here, they don't really show that side or reveal that side to themselves. They're very masculine, and I don't even think this person's aware of their own feminine side or feminine reality within them. And this person seems to feel like maybe they feel like they can bring a gentleness out of you. But with temptation here, it's like for some reason they feel like tempted by you, but tempted would indicate that for some reason, because this is the devil card as well, so it's like, it's kind of giving me forbidden fruit vibes with that apple there, like I really shouldn't take a bite, but I really want to. And then this mutual thing, or the shared experience that you both felt or thought. With this card, let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. It's like there's a recognition that although you're close and there's a pull, you have to give each other space and not follow through or something. This is where it gets a little bit interesting. So there's this forbidden element going on here that I'm starting to pick up on. It's like, although there's a pull that we're both feeling, or there's something that we're both feeling here, we're both noticing this is a bad idea. Alright, so let's move out into this row here, and this is like the progress of the relationship. So judgment would indicate like a major life-changing decision or a major life-changing moment, and the Five of Pentacles can indicate like a period of being very alone, feeling a little bit worthless, or even struggling financially with that major change. Judgment, Wheel of Fortune, Death, all cards of major change, like life-changing things, not just subtle changes or subtle moves made, like major life-changing decisions and changes. And we have someone here who's like struggling with that change, struggling with feeling a little bit either alone or isolated. And then we have this person here who's got a lot on their plate, feeling very overwhelmed with responsibilities. And again, feeling very overwhelmed by it. There could be like a major ending that has taken place or that has to take place. And then with Hermit mode, that's alone, like being alone. So I'm just trying to piece all of this together. So although this is a serious relationship, I'm wondering if the only way that this would make sense to me is if one of these people were in a relationship, like a different relationship, and this is like more of like either an affair type situation, or if we want to do this, you got to leave your husband or wife for me type situation. Because there's major changes, periods of being very alone and overwhelmed, endings, and a lot of alone time in Hermit mode here for the way that this unfolds. So the only way that I could see that is like someone having to leave a person, or I don't know if this is like an online connection and the only way to be together is to like pack up and move across country. Like that's a major change, and it's, you know, would come from like, I can't be away from you anymore, I can't be alone anymore, like I want to come be with you. They are kind of like the only two ways that I can make it make sense. Someone may have to like give up their career or something. But in order to be together, someone would have to make a very, very drastic change. I also kind of feel like another way that I could read this would be if these are like kind of representing different people, it's almost like with the Wheel of Fortune in the middle, like if I show you kind of what I'm seeing here, it's almost like two people who are trying to avoid their reality by romanticizing a situation or creating an illusion of this connection. And then it's like, you know, you make a call to be together and then you realize that this is not what you thought it was going to be, and then it kind of ends and you go back to doing things on your own again. Like, oh, this was a mistake. We weren't quite seeing the truth of this. It's almost like this person was really unhappy with their circumstances and the struggles that they were dealing with, so they needed an escape, and this person was overwhelmed with life responsibilities, of taking so much on that they needed an escape, and then it eventuates in like an ending and Hermit mode, like being alone again. So unfortunately, I don't fully see like a happy outcome on the table for this relationship. I think I'm going to just pull a few cards or a few more cards, and just see if we can clarify anything here. So how can I word this? How can I ask this question? What is the most likely outcome or most likely potential? I need to use a different deck though. Hang on a minute. Let's try this one. The only other way that I could see this is like nothing happens between you for a very, very long time, and it's all basically in your head and in your hearts until you both go through so many different changes and transformations in your life, and eventually you find each other again. Because this really feels like with all of this change coming through, like this feels like it could be a period of years, because there's just so much, there's so many major arcana in this row. And like death, hermit, judgment, they can all kind of represent, even wheel of fortune, like growth, evolution. So it's like it takes a long time to grow and evolve, the same way that you both individually take time to grow and evolve. But let's try to see what's the most likely outcome, or the highest, the most likely outcome for this relationship. So we have strength, we have the Fool, and we have the Star. 3 major arcanas, and underneath we have the Tower. So all major arcanas once again. I honestly think with strength, the Fool, the Star, the Tower, it's almost like a very strong bond. What's under there? The 9 of Swords. Yeah, I feel like it could lead to eventually you guys feeling like the bond is so strong that you need to explore it and give it a go. But again, like this Star card, she can't really see that Star. There's all of this change and transformation and evolution happening in front of her. And I say that because it's like dragonflies and butterflies, and they represent, evolution. So it's like your perception of what could be wasn't accurate. It was skewed by everything that was going on around you. And it seems like you guys may explore it or may act on it and take that risk, but then it ends in a crumbling, and it ends in a lot of regret and guilt and, wishing you never did that. Like I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not going to give you a false sense of security in this reading, because it's just like the strength of the bond leads you to take a risk with each other, thinking that it's going to be one thing, but then you quickly realize that your perception was distorted, and it quickly ends and becomes something that you regret. Okay, so I'm not like losing my marbles. The slight little nudges that I was picking up on were quite accurate after all. So yeah, it was a bit of an illusion because you guys were trying to escape or avoid something within you or in your situation, and then it becomes something completely different than maybe what it was supposed to. But either way, you learn your lessons, you live and you learn. All right, what are we up to now? We are now doing what is the relationship like normally, at its best, at its worst, and what keeps you together underneath it all. I don't know if I said that in the right order, but once I see the cards, I will remember which one was which. Okay, this is at its best. We have the Two of Wands. Normally or generally speaking, we have the Five of Pentacles. For at its worst is the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, and underneath it all, Nine of Cups reverse. So at its best with the Two of Wands, it feels like when you guys are at your best, or the relationship at best is like a perception. Like the Two of Wands, they look like they're kind of sitting in a comfort zone, looking out at what could be. That's what that is to me. So it almost feels like at best it's like a vision of what could, would, maybe, might be. It doesn't feel like it's like, I don't know how else to explain it, but hopefully you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. But as you can see, like the person in this card is sitting here, but they're looking out at like, well, what's next? And then Five of Pentacles, this is just, generally speaking, like normally, there is this sense of the Five of Pentacles can be like financial struggles, or it can be like feeling left out in the cold, or feeling alone, feeling abandoned. So that kind of tells me that, like, generally speaking, you feel emotionally unseen and unheard. Maybe both of you, or maybe just one of you. It's like you don't feel validated, you don't feel supported, you don't feel secure. Then at its worst, we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So at its worst, it's like, well, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse to me would be like, there is literally no potential, there's no hope. There's no security in what we have. And the Nine of Cups in reverse for what keeps you together underneath it all is, well, the Nine of Cups in reverse to me is kind of coming through as in like, well, it's better than being alone, or well, yeah, it's even the word codependency is coming to mind with the Nine of Cups in reverse. It's just like being codependent on the idea, or being codependent on the possibility, or just being codependent because it offers some sort of emotional security or some sort of escape. Once again, an escape from reality. Alright, so sorry that is not a little bit more positive, but yeah, like I can't make things up. I have to tell you what I'm seeing, and that's unfortunately what I'm seeing. So it's like, if anything, it's just more comfortable to be together than to say goodbye or to part ways, or it's more comfortable to romanticize and idealize the situation than it is to accept your reality. Okay, so we're going to move into everything I can tell you about this person. So let's start with zodiac signs. So we're going to look at the most common signs appearing in this group, and it could be either the sun, the moon, or the rising placement of this person. So the person group 2 is in a serious relationship with next. What are the main zodiac signs coming through of this person, please? Alright, so we have Capricorn coming out first. So there could be a Capricorn, sun, moon, or rising. We have the full moon, or the moon, so that's Cancer energy. So there could be a Capricorn or a Cancer, sun, moon, or rising. Capricorn moon could be very significant because we've got literally Capricorn moon. We've got 12th house, which is Pisces energy, so even a Pisces moon could be very significant. And we have Uranus on the bottom, which is Aquarius energy. So Capricorn, Pisces, and Aquarius moon specifically, or Capricorn, Cancer, Pisces, or Aquarius sun, moon, or rising. They're the most common signs. Now we're going to look at the first two are like two key components of this person's like personality, so two main aspects. And the reason I chose two is because I feel like we all kind of have like two sides to us, like one that we kind of show others, and then one that's more reserved for when we're at our most comfortable, you know. So I thought I'd get two, and we have the Magician and we have the Hermit. So the Magician is someone very resourceful, someone that is very skilled in putting on a show. So I do want to say that I do feel like this person is very good at like creating a vision or creating a show and luring you in. I feel like they are a little bit of, I do pick up a little bit of a tricky energy with the Magician. Someone who's very much strategic. Maybe even very intelligent to the point where they can manipulate energy and emotions and feelings. And the Hermit, yeah, they do. I think that as much as they can entertain people and they have a very magnetic quality that really lures people in, I think that they also have an introverted side. They like to explore their spirituality. They like to possibly meditate. They like their alone time. And they can be a little bit more reserved. But yeah, they have this showman side to them almost. It's interesting. I think they're soft-spoken normally until they're in this kind of energy. I think they're more like soft-spoken. Even if like what they're saying is powerful, like they have a very soft way of speaking. I think that whatever they do for a living, they're very good at it. Like there's no taking that away from them. They're very skilled or skillful at what they do. they could work for themselves too. Anyway, I think that's all I can pick up from those 2 cards. Now, with these cards, this is 4 different physical traits. So you could find that one resonates with this person, or all 4 could resonate. You just need to take it as it resonates for you. But I'll read them out to you. So we have the 10 of Cups in reverse. So the neck and or shoulders is a very attractive part of this person's physique. Like, it's one of their standout features would be their neck/shoulder area. We have the 7 of Swords in reverse. So this is someone, now you're probably going to like go real extra with how you envision the way I say this, like I do, but this is someone with like protruding eyes. So this is, when it's in reverse, it talks about eye shape. So protruding doesn't literally mean like bulging out of their head, but I would just say like bigger eyes. They might kind of like stick out a little tiny bit. It's like subtle, but you would be like, oh yeah, I can see how that's protruding. But that may just be for some of you, all of you, I don't know. But protruding eyes came out. 7 of Pentacles in the upright position. This is someone who has more of like a street, urban, kind of casual street, casual urban style. And then we have the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Could be someone that wears quite a lot of black. So they are the physical traits that I can tell you about. And like I said, remember, it could be just one of those things, or it could be all 4 of them, or it could be anything in between. Just keep that in mind. And we are going to now finish off with initials. So we're going to get the most common initials of your person, or the person you'll be in the next serious relationship with. And with this reading, I know that we're talking about your next serious relationship, but this almost feels like you don't really, it doesn't really feel like you end up in a serious relationship, but it's serious in the fact that like it's a very major moment or major lesson or major turning point in your journey. Like, it's a profound connection for maybe a different reason. So yeah, we just have to trust what comes through, but that's what I'm kind of picking up. But let's get the most common initials of the person group 2 is going to be in a serious relationship with next. Oh, you guys got a lot actually. So we have got V, R, P, H, D, N, J, K, W, Y, and O. So first or last initials, we literally have a John spelt out, Don, Joe. I don't know why I'm saying names, but anyway. Now, let me just quickly check my list and make sure. I think we are at the end of the reading. Yes, we've covered it all now. So I hope you've enjoyed that, group 2. I'm sorry that it was not necessarily obviously it's a very important time in your life. Nothing's a coincidence. It's all for a reason. But I'm sorry that if you were here hoping to find out that your next serious relationship is the one, I'm very sorry that I've had to disappoint you today. Maybe you could pick a different pile and be like, okay, this is for my next serious relationship and try again. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it nonetheless and that it's helpful for when the time comes. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you feel like doing so. But until next time, sending love, light, and everything bright. Bye-bye. Hello Group 3, welcome to your reading where we are looking into your next serious relationship. So there's a lot to cover in this reading. If you're here with Group 3, you've chosen the horseshoe symbol. And we're going to tuck that one in over there. We need all the space we can get today. But welcome, group 3. So we've got a lot to cover. We've got a you versus them section where we're going to look at the general energy when you first meet, as well as your general situation or circumstances when you first meet, yours and theirs. Then we're going to do first thoughts, first impressions, yours versus theirs, as well as a mutual or shared experience, feeling or thought. We're going to go into how does it progress, hopefully get an idea of how quickly or how slowly it might progress, the story or the events that unfold. Then we're going to look at what is the relationship like when it's at its best, just when it's like normal, just sort of not up or down, just sort of coasting along, at its worst. And then underneath the deck was the card for what keeps you together, sort of underneath it all, or at the foundation of it all. Then we're going to look at everything I can tell you about this person as an individual. So like zodiac signs, initials, physical traits, as well as personality traits. So yeah, we've got a lot to cover. That's why I have pulled basically all the cards, because otherwise we're probably going to be here for close to like 90 minutes a pile, I reckon. Yes, 90. So we're going to start off with the energy check. So when you first meet, what is your energy? Bear in mind, if you need to swap the roles, feel free to do so. But I'll be reading it as this side you, this side them. But like I said, change it if you need to. So your energy is the Poet. And your circumstances or situation when you meet them is the Ace of Pentacles. This card is what brings you together, which we're going to wait first. Their energy, the Creator. Their situation, the Hanged Man. Sure, I keep going off center and then I get annoyed, so I'm just trying to make sure that I've got it all where it needs to be. All right. So starting over here with you, we have the Poet and we also have the Ace of Pentacles. Now it's interesting, both the Poet and the Creator are giving me very creative vibes, because when we think of a poet we think of like creative writing, and then with the Creator it's literally talking about, you know, the Creator. So both of these cards are kind of giving me very sort of vulnerable energies. Like often our creativity comes from a place of darkness or knowing darkness, and often that's where like some of the brightest creations or the brightest lights can shine through, is from those periods of darkness. You know, often creative expression can be a form of emotional expression as well, and that's what I'm thinking with the Poet, is like very vulnerable self-reflection, getting to know oneself on a very deep and authentic level, and then trying to create magic out of that, especially with the Ace of Pentacles. It's like, what can I create from this darkness? What can I how can I emerge in a new way? How can I grow from this? Especially with the Ace of Pentacles, it is all about growth and opportunity. So it feels like your energy when this happens is, it's like you've gotten to the depths of your soul, and now you're trying to create something of that, of the journey that you've just been on. So so where has that led you, and figuring out where to go with that in a way. So you may be like being pulled down like a different path at the time you meet this person, you know, something more meaningful. Or you could literally be writing and trying to create an opportunity with your writing on a real literal sense. Or it's like you're transmuting your darkness into something positive. So say there was like something you went through in your childhood, it's like, how can you use your learnings to now teach, guide, and help others and grow something from that? You know how people that have been in like domestic violence, they begin to speak out and talk about it. It's like, in a way, to help others learn from what happened in their past or their past experiences. So it's like using what once put you in a dark place to make something positive out of it. That's what that's giving me here. And then if we move over to the other person, this person is definitely in a very creative energy, and it's giving me very, very similar energy, except the only difference is that I feel like this person is in like a creative block and they're having difficulty navigating their way out of it, whereas this person seems to have an idea or an opportunity ahead of them, or like in their sphere, and it feels like they're trying to make magic out of it. And this person is too, but it feels like they're kind of in a creative block or struggling to like find creative vision, whereas this person, like this big stars in the sky, it almost looks like there's already an idea that they're trying to make happen. Alright, let's see what connects the two of you. The Princess of Pentacles. Interesting. So what I'm actually seeing in my mind with the Princess of Pentacles is someone looking at a screen, either their phone or computer. So either like social media or like a dating app or something may have brought you together, and you both saw potential in each other. Because the Princess of Pentacles kind of makes me think of like real life potential, grounded potential. It's like, oh yeah, there's potential here, swipe right. Oh, there's potential here, this conversation's going well, or they look like my type. They dress the way that I like people to dress, or like, you know, just seeing some sort of potential in each other is what brought you together. It could have been in some cases it could be like a collab. You could end up collaborating and that's what brings you together. Or if one of these people post their creative works or post whatever they do, their little niche, the other person may see it and be inspired by it and then reach out or something like that. But majority, I feel like this is like social media or a dating app, seeing potential in each other and connecting that way. I think there's like a mutual interest immediately. But yeah, so the next cards are first thoughts and impressions. So this side will be you, this side will be your person. So your first thoughts or impressions are memories. No. And the Four of Earth. Interesting. We'll turn that one over in a minute. And then on their side, we have recognition, recovery, and the Five of Water. Oh, hold on a minute. I feel like I'm starting to see a story here. The shared thought, feeling, or experience when you first connect is healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed this very moment. well, that kind of confirms that to me. So I try to avoid giving this message unless it's absolutely necessary, but this could be reconnecting with someone. Excuse me. These energies could definitely, they still align with what I was saying, in the sense that this person is trying to create something out of their pain or their darkness, and so is this person, but this person's feeling a little bit blocked. And it almost feels like you connected, and then it feels like you went in different directions for a little while. So I don't know how deep or for how long you connected in the past, for those that resonate with this, but it would be like the potential wasn't fully reached with the Princess of Pentacles. It's like the potential was noted and seen and recognized, but you were both kind of coming out of this dark spot and focused on different things, and maybe just weren't quite ready or willing to fully commit or invest in each other, and had to go on your separate paths. Because then when we come down to here, we've got memories and we've got no, and then we've got the Four of Earth, and it kind of looks like at first when you connect again, or when you see each other, because it's almost like, I'm almost getting this vibe of like bumping into each other, and over here on your side you're like, oh my god, like the first thing that comes back is like all the memories, and it's like, no, I can't do this again, I'm not going to go through this again. Or for those that are not resonating with already knowing this person, this is probably going to get confusing for everyone now, but the other thing that I'm seeing is that this person, initially they remind you of someone. So either the way they look, or something they do, or something about them reminds you of someone that possibly didn't treat you very well, or someone that you don't really like to think about, and immediately your guard goes up and it's like, no, don't do it, or no, don't do that, no, don't go there, or something like that. But then with the Four of Earth, this is a very, I don't know, like, it's very hard to see, but it's like she's holding a chest, but then on top of it is like a pink butterfly, or like a pink moth. I don't know if you guys can see it. Even I can hardly see it. It's right in front of me. And it's like, no, I need to open up. I need to have more trust and not be so closed off. It's like wanting to open up, and then like, so the initial reaction is like, no, turn away, they remind me of this person. But then it's like, no, you know, we've grown now, we're not in that dark place anymore, don't let it ruin what could be a good thing. And in that moment there's this healing feeling that you notice, and then their first thoughts is like an immediate recognition. And the reason I say that this could definitely be like a reconnection is because we've got recognition, recovery, and the Five of Water. The Five of Water is like grieving and loss, and we've got recovery from a period of grieving and loss. And with the Hanged Man, potentially this person could have felt stuck on you ever since then. It's like your path pulled you in a different direction and they've been stuck ever since. It's like they recognized from that first moment, like, yes, this is it. This is why I've been blocked. It's because I've been missing this person. Like, I can finally get over this period of grieving and loss. I can finally recover. I can, you know, I don't have to miss them and long for them anymore. Like, they're here. That's their immediate recognition. And then that shared experience of healing and feeling the relationship finally healing in that moment. And then if it's not like a reconnection, I think that I almost feel like this person recognizes that you're a gift from the universe for their healing and for letting go of all of that hurt and pain and for facing it. It's like, this is my gift, this is my reward from the universe. And it's just like this immediate knowing. Didn't realize how crooked I was going. No. All right. I'm going to try to leave it alone and continue into the messages. This is going to be very interesting, actually, this part, because this is all about how this relationship unfolds and progresses. So actually, this might even confirm the stories that I'm getting. So let's have a look. We have the Six of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, like choosing career or choosing to focus on an opportunity or an idea. Two of Wands, having a vision that they were focused on. Six of Cups, reconnection. Knight of Cups and Queen of Cups. So to me, the most likely story here is definitely like someone in the beginning was focused on growing a business or an idea, or like creating an opportunity or excelling like in their career and their wealth and things like that. Someone had a vision that they were focused on and they really wanted to progress in that area of life. So it feels like they kind of were just pulled in a different direction, and it feels like the other person kind of just like stayed here, maybe not fully intentionally waiting for that person to come back, but kind of just like, I wouldn't say waiting, but I would say hoping. So like they didn't put their life on hold, but they were hoping that they would like have another chance at this, or hoping that you guys would come back together or something like that. And then I get sort of, you know, that reconnection where you kind of, one or both of you, or one of you reaches out to the other, asks them out like for coffee, and then you meet for coffee and the feelings and the emotions are like really, really strong. So we have both Cups cards and the Six of Cups. It's like an emotional connection that's shared between the two of you, and it seems to be like a second chance at it. And then I kind of see that being the story even if you don't already know this person. And it seems like when you meet, one or both of you are kind of focused on a vision that you're implementing. So it's like you kind of stay in touch, but you're on different paths, and then at some point those paths cross intentionally or unintentionally, and like the emotions and feelings are too strong to ignore. And from there I feel like, you know, it's all systems go and it's like more aligned by that point. Because that's definitely like the start of a love story. Like these two cards are making me think of like falling in love. So there is like a waiting period, but then once that reconnection happens, from then on it's like smooth sailing, mutual feelings, mutual vision for the future, and all that good stuff. Alright, so we're going to move forward into some more about your relationship. So we've got a card here for the relationship at its best, the relationship when it's just normal, like the majority of the time, the relationship at its worst, and then what keeps you together at the foundation of it all. So at its best, we have the Ace of Swords. So really communicative, you know, you talk to each other a lot. I think you definitely have like a similar sense of humor and a similar communication style. And I think that you both have attributes such as honesty, respect, loyalty. You both want to see each other win. You're both very supportive of each other, and you both mentally stimulate each other. And I think that there's a lot of victory when it's at its best. It's like unbreakable at its best. When it's just coasting along, like generally most of the time, it's the Knight of Swords. So once again, very communicative. I think there's like a lot of banter between you. I'm almost picking up like jokes and pranks and like, yeah, just a lot of like wit and laughter, great communication, again, very honest. I think that it's very spontaneous, like in your day-to-day, you just, oh, let's go here, oh yeah, sweet, let's go, bang, and then you're both gone. I think that that's a thing too. But once again, like meeting of minds, banter, same sense of humor. So at a lot of the time, your relationship is literally at its best, because these are quite similar, really. You may travel a lot, just saying. And then we have at its worst, so Two of Cups in reverse. So even at its worst, it's like there's still so much love and respect between you two. And it's like very difficult to hold a grudge, I feel like. So you might have your little disagreements or whatever, but like literally like that love doesn't go anywhere. And what keeps you together is, oh my gosh, the Two of Swords. That's making me think of like literally refusing to even look at another option is what keeps you together. It's like, I only have eyes for you. I know you're the one for me. I refuse to even contemplate a different path or a different person. Like, you're my person, that's it. So that's really cute. Oh, I love that. It's making me smile a lot. Yeah, that's cool. Let's see. What are we up to? Oh, so now we're going to do everything I can tell you about this person. So we're going to do some zodiac signs to start with. So let me just grab my cards. And this could be sun, moon, or rising signs of your person. I'm also seeing with these three cards here, when I look at it as a partnership that's already formed, I'm looking at as like two people with their eyes on the same prize. So like similar values, two people with the same values, same morals, same goals for the future, and the same desires. So like very much on the same page. And that's probably why, you know, the relationship is so harmonious. It's like you're very much on the same page as each other and everything aligns. So it's like there's connection and then there's also compatibility. The best of both worlds. So what are the main zodiac signs of the person that group 3 will be in a serious relationship with next? So we have Aries as the first sign. So it's Aries, sun, moon, rising. That would explain why there's so much spontaneity and impulsivity in the connection actually. We have Saturn, so that's Capricorn energy. So Capricorn, Sun, Moon or Rising. We have Cancer, Sun, Moon or Rising. And we have Ascendant on the bottom. So specifically any of these rising placements. So an Aries rising, a Cancer rising, Saturn in the rising, or like Saturn in the first house. So Capricorn in the first house, maybe. But yeah, basically if Ascendant comes out, it's like specifically the rising sign. So Cancer, Capricorn or Aries rising specifically, but any of those in any of those top 3 placements. Next we're going to look at physical personality traits and physical traits. So the first 2 cards are like 2 main aspects of this person's personality. So we have the Sun with positivity, and we have the Emperor. Funny that, because Aries is linked to the Emperor card, and we even have the little Aries symbol on that one. And then the Sun is more fire. Oh my gosh, excuse me. But funnily enough, the Sun has very much an Aries vibe to it as well, even though it represents Leo, but just saying. So the Sun is definitely someone who's more of like an optimist, someone who's generally like a very happy person, always smiling, always laughing, loves to have fun, loves adventure, loves the outdoors. And then with the Emperor, it's like they also have a very structured side to them. They have goals, they're very disciplined and committed when it comes to seeing them through. So it's not like they just idealize things, like they back it up with action. So this is like work hard, play hard type of energy here. Working hard and then happily enjoying the rewards that come with it is what I'm getting from this person. I think that they need a certain level of structure in their life to feel secure, but then like I said, they definitely have that spontaneous, impulsive, adventurous side as well. So that definitely would resonate if this was like an Aries sun sign and then like a Capricorn rising or a Capricorn moon or something like that, because that's that sort of Capricorn's like that grounded, disciplined side that wants to do well and earn good money, and then Aries is that side of I just want to have fun and be happy. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing about sort of like their personality traits. I feel like they have a very youthful side to them, like they have a very young energy, but then they also sometimes come out with like this really dope wisdom that's very unexpected, and it's like, damn, you know. But anyway, I'll keep going. So these are going to be more physical traits. So you may find that either just one of these resonates, so everyone should at least have one thing, or it could be up to all 4 things about your person. So Page of Wands in reverse is someone with long hair. So whether male or female, it would be long for that gender. 5 of Pentacles in reverse is someone who wears a lot of neutrals. So like browns, creams, very neutral tones, maybe like light greens, beige, tans, those colors, like what I'm wearing actually. The Knight of Wands. So this is talking about hair, and this is someone who has like multiple tones. So think like if this is female, like ombre or balayage, or multiple different tones in their hair. Or if male, then it just could be like highlights, foils, or it could just be naturally multiple different shades. So don't mistake that for different colors, because a different card represents colorful hair. This is just like different tones or multiple tones. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles. So this is someone whose like, I guess, style or their aesthetic would typically represent like a skater girl, skater guy for some people. So that may not be for everybody. If you know that that's not what you're into, don't have to claim that at all. Just claim that if that's what you're into. But yes, now we're going to go into the initials. So we're going to get the most common initials out. So what are the most common initials for this group? For the person group 3 will be in a serious connection with next. Done there. So we have we have V, we have G, we have E, we've got P, I can see page, we have, I have a sore neck, N, D, M, and L. So they're the initials coming through for this group. So first or last name of your person. Take them with a grain of salt. We can only pull through what's predominantly coming through, and maybe not everybody will get an initial, but hopefully everybody will. I'm seeing Angela. Just thought I would, I don't know, it felt like I needed to say that. So I don't know if we have an Angela watching, or if someone's person's Angela, and that makes me realize that I can also see Angel. So maybe this group has an angel watching over them at the moment that wanted to just pop through here and say, you know, hello, I'm with you. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching Group 3. I hope you've enjoyed today's reading. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you feel like doing so. But until next time, sending love, light, and everything bright. Bye.